All right, everybody, welcome to the Backseat Huddle podcast, episode 74. Today, I am talking about Brock Purdy and my takeaway from his game Sunday versus the Cleveland Browns. And here it is. Brock Purdy proved he is the guy in San Francisco. He looked like shit, but when it came time to win the bitch, he proved he was the guy. Sunday, he answered the question, game on the line, can you go out there and win it? And the answer is yes. Down 2, ball in his own 25, minute 40 left, one timeout. Your best player's out. Your second best player arguably is out. Your left tackle going against Myles fucking Garrett isn't 100%, and you're going against the number 1 ranked defense in the NFL. Final drive, 3 completions, 50 yards, close enough for a game-winning field goal, enough time for them to make a run play to run out the clock. It's not his fault the kicker fucking missed it. Brock Purdy looked like shit the entire fucking game. He was having trouble gripping the ball. He was inaccurate the entire game. He was under pressure the entire game. And honestly, looked out of sorts. He didn't look polished. He didn't look anything like the Brock Purdy that we are used to seeing and have seen up to this point. But in the final drive, he made the throws he needed to make. He got them close enough to a field goal to win the game. Point blank, period. He did his job. At the end of the game, when he was asked, go win it, he did enough. Period. Does that excuse the fact that he was likely the reason that they lost that game with his poor performance? No. But once again, he answered the question, can you go win it for us? Yes, he can. He did what everyone wanted to see him do, lead a game-winning drive. What else could you ask for out of Brock Purdy in his 13th or 14th start? The true measure for a quarterback is, what do you look like when you're trailing? What do you look like when it's time for you to lace up and go win the fucking game? And the answer for Brock Purdy is composed, unfazed, ready. Period. None of what happened up to that final drive mattered for Brock Purdy. The entire game he played up to that point, he was shitty. He looked bad. It was easily the worst he has looked as a professional quarterback. If you are a Brock Purdy truther that says he can't do it without a super team, you have ground to stand on based on that game. But what I saw was a quarterback who mentally took the game that he had played up to that point and threw it away.
Can't have dirty garbage.
Just got rid of it. Clean slate. Up to that point, he played like shit, and it didn't affect him. It didn't bother him. He didn't let it affect him. He didn't let it rattle him. He didn't let the moment get too big. He went out there, and all it was an opportunity for him to go win the game, and he did his part. It's not his fault the kicker missed the fucking kick, and I'm not going to hold that against Brock Purdy. If the question is, can Brock Purdy lead a game-winning drive? Can he lead his team from behind? We got an answer. Yes. Secondarily, if today you're saying, I told you so, Brock Purdy can't do it without Christian McCaffrey and a super team. Told you so. You're a fucking idiot. I'm serious. Go look in a mirror, call your mom, and apologize to her for being the way that you are. And then take a step back and realize this type of behavior, this is why you have no friends. To this point, Brock Purdy has exactly one bad game as a professional. There is significantly more evidence up to this point that Brock Purdy is at least a good quarterback with an undefined ceiling than he is a bad quarterback that is being elevated by what's around him. He played a bad game. And overreaction Monday makes you look like a fucking tool. Every quarterback in the NFL has played a bad game at some point in their professional career. And if they haven't, they don't have enough playing time, haven't seen the field enough, or guess what? They're fucking going to. The trick to it is to have more good games than bad games, which is exactly what Brock Purdy has done. The better question is, what does this mean for Brock Purdy moving forward? We'll have to see. There's tape now on how to attack the 49ers offense in an effective manner, and we're just going to have to see how they're going to adjust to it moving forward. Personally, I think it'll be right back to business when they take on the Vikings next Monday night. So here's what we have. There's 2 questions for Brock Purdy. Number 1, can he operate a game-winning drive? Yes. The other question is, what does he look like without a super team, Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel around him? The great news is we get an opportunity to get the answer to that question in the next coming weeks. So that's my take on Brock Purdy. Hopefully you guys like it. Feel free to like and subscribe. Take care, everybody.